we hung out like right before you left.
Yes.
And I remember like you come back and you're like, I think I know what I need to do with my life.
Yes.
You had this moment like you're looking in the waves.
Yes.
And you kind of come back with this thing. And what I've come to know more over the last couple of weeks, but like you've invested a lot of yourself, your time, your energy, your resources into starting this thing called Kingdom Empowered. And I've talked peripherally about it, but like ultimately it's like I had this thought of be like, I don't know that I actually know the story the whole way through.
Yeah.
Other than the fact that just like you came back and you're like, I think I need to know what I'm going to do. And I'm the kind of guy, the friend's like, that's great, man.
Yeah.
Let's go do it. Like, no other questions.
Yay. Yeah.
But like, I think that would be a cool thing to like, so I'm genuinely curious,
Or generally curious. Like both work.
That's but like maybe talk about like, first off, like what the moment was, like where you're kind of like, God put something on your heart or whatever. And then, well, I'll ask more questions, I guess, as they come up, but like of where it's going or what.
Yeah. So, I mean, it kind of starts even further back than that of just like a moment. Because there was definitely a moment. And it actually happened in the room that we're sitting in right now. But, you know, over the past couple of years, run businesses, all that kind of stuff. It's been great. It's been awesome. But the past year was rough. There were some different things that happened. We closed a business down. Like different things that were happening. Honestly, over the summer, so last summer, so that would be the summer of 2022, I was mad. I was angry. I was mad at God. I was mad at myself. I was angry with like a lot of things because I felt like I had no idea what I was supposed to do. And I feel like a lot of people get in that situation. And my like natural response is like, well, I'm just going to figure it out. Right. So, like I tried a couple of things, tried starting some podcasts, like tried doing all these other things. Right. But nothing, like they were fun. It was cool to do. But, and I think I had like this vision for it. But so I went to this event in August. So it's called Messenger Cup. It's run by a ministry, Messenger International, by John and Lisa Bevere. And John and Lisa Bevere and their whole family, their sons, their daughter, they're all amazing, the Beveres in general. And so basically, Messenger International, they translate books and curriculum and all these different things and give them out all over the world. So discipleship resources, right? So between John and Lisa, they've written like 40, 45, 50 books. Something
That's
crazy.
a ridiculous amount of
It
books.
really is. It may not actually be that high. We need a fact checker is what we need. But they've written a lot of books, like a whole lot of books.
I grabbed my phone for a second and was like, I can look this up.
Right.
I could be that person. And I was like, we'll just let it ride.
Right.
Sounds
Yeah,
good. 40, 50 sounds good.
Yeah,
it's a good number.
It is what it is. It may be closer to like 30, but it's a lot. Okay. See, either way, it's a lot.
Yeah.
And they translate those books into like 120 some different languages, and then distribute them for free across the world and write curriculum and then translate that, to basically empower pastors and ministries all over the world in local languages. Right. So they gave us a stat of like, there's like, I don't know, 15, 20, 30 languages that they translate into that are local languages. And their books are the only discipleship resources translated into those languages other than the Bible, which I think is just, I mean, that's insane, right? So they have, it's really a golf tournament is what it started out as. But
How'd you shoot?
Not great.
You want to see my surprise face?
Yes. Wow. Rude. Out in Colorado, it's weird, dude.
But there's a lot of slicing.
Right. Super high elevation, and then there's like
it's the elevation.
Yeah. No. This is what it is. I'll tell you exactly what it is. Okay, is that there's it's literally like kind of on the side of a mountain, and the putts make no sense. They all go away from the mountain.
Yeah.
And so, but you could look at a putt and think it's downhill going left to right, and it's actually uphill right to left. Like complete opposite of what you think it is because of the mountain.
Yeah. So it's the opposite of water. Because like when you putt to water, it's always going to go toward the water.
Correct.
Right.
With this, it all goes away. But Anyway,
driving in the UK.
Yes.
Correct. Yeah, gotcha. I'm following. Keep going.
No, I love. Okay. So, I shot like crap. But on one of the evenings there, they basically have this auction, and this was something given to John a long time ago, of where basically what they do is they put a country, a language, a book, and then a dollar amount up on the screen, and they basically have this auction where people give away money, and it funds their ministry. It funds getting that book and that language to that country, quantity, whatever it is on the screen. And I sat there and I watched. There were about 300 people in the room, and in about 30 minutes, like $4 million was given. And people were yelling, screaming, running up to the stage, trying to give away their money. And that was the first moment. Because I don't think I had ever witnessed financial generosity like that, or generosity in general like that, right in front of my eyes in such a short moment. Like it was 30 minutes, $4 million. Yeah. That's a lot of money, right? And it was just given away. And these people they're all amazing. They're all, successful business owners and different people, but they did this. And so that was the first moment of, I think that in that moment, I had this feeling of you've been thinking too small. That's what I feel like was given to me in that moment, was you've been thinking too small. And so coming out of that event, I believe the last day that we were there, in the morning right before we leave, they kind of have this, it's the only moment there where there's kind of like teaching. And John Bevere came up and spoke. There were a couple other people that came up and spoke. But leaving there, two of the people that had spoke, they had books. And so one of them was written by a guy named Gary Keesee, who is amazing. And the other was written by a guy named Mike Thakur. And on the plane ride home from Colorado, I read all of the Gary Keesee book and then started the Mike Thakur book. And then when I got home, like that night I went to bed, the next day I got up and I finished that book. And both these books were they just blew my mind what they were talking about. They were talking about a lot of different things. I'm not going to, unless you want me to, I'm not going to get into it. But I was sitting in this room that we're sitting in right now, and I had just finished reading, and I was looking up some Bible verses that I had written down that they had talked about in the books. And I was kind of praying over the knowledge, praying over the information, and then I just felt like I had an idea. So I took out my phone and I started typing, and it was literally like this download of like vision, logistics, how to do it, how to make it work, who to contact, what to do, all of this stuff. And I was just trying to write it all down in my phone, and I felt like I literally couldn't write fast enough. And so that was this moment. And when I look back on it, one of the things, which is actually the primary thing that started out, but one of the things Kingdom Empowered is going to do is be a platform for online courses. Okay. And I have done online courses before, and I swore that I was never going to do them again. Literally, I don't want anything to do with online education again. Right. And I started, so basically right after that, I started calling people. And the first people I called, I would actually love to have them on this podcast. Their names are Scott and Jenny Graham. I called Scott, and the craziest thing, I literally just blurted out everything that had just come to me. And he was like, "That's crazy. You've actually been on speakerphone this whole time, and Jenny's been listening, and Jenny wants to say something to you." And she goes, a couple months ago, we spent tens of thousands of dollars to get a course. They do interventions and help people with drug abuse and all that kind of stuff. They had spent tens of thousands of dollars making this course to have it professionally edited, professionally produced, all this kind of stuff based on what they do in their ministry. And she said that they put it up for sale and they haven't been able to sell it. And she's been doing research into how to market courses, and there wasn't really this Christian platform that she could put it on. And this was like a godsend that this idea had come to me, and I was going to do this because then she could put it up there and I would help her market it. Confirmation immediate, right? Literally, I'm not kidding. I then hung up the phone and I called Brian and Melissa Chu. They're missionaries. They're amazing. And I did the same thing. Gave Brian this whole blurb of what had come to me, what this vision was. He said the exact same thing. Melissa has been on speakerphone and she wants to say something to you. Hey, Taylor, 3 months ago, I made 2 courses. I've been struggling on selling them. And I've been doing research and trying to figure out what platform to use, how to sell them, how to market them. Literally the exact same phone call happened twice with 2 different couples within an hour of this information coming. And it was just like,